Welcome to Selfish Confidence, a place where we can connect and be real about how hard it is to be your damn self. I'm your host, Jess, and my goal is to help you build confidence and belief in yourself to live any life path you want, even if it's unconventional. It's time to break down those barriers and connect with women who've also felt on the outside by their life choices. We're encouraging you to grab the mic and speak your truth. I know it can be scary, but we're in this together. We got this. Let's dive in. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Selfish Confidence Podcast. I'm a little nervous right now because I got a brand new microphone, so you're going to have to tell me how this sound is, but I'm a little nervous. It's just not going to record. I don't know why. That's always where my brain goes, right? We go to that place of doubt and fear and discomfort that the new things that we're trying aren't going to go like the old things did, right? And that kind of leads me into today's topic. Before I get into it, I want to let you know that we have the next Selfish Social planned, and I'm so excited for this one. I'm doing a little collab event with Kohr Method, who we used to do the Bounce and Beers with down at Alderney Landing Pier. So for those of you who are in Halifax locally, this will be in Dartmouth on Portland Street, and we're doing a Candlelight Restorative Yoga Class. And I'm a big fan of yoga, so I'm really excited about this, and we're doing it with my friend Pam, and she's going to be teaching this wonderful, relaxing class. And if you're someone who's like, I am not flexible, I cannot do yoga, I do not know anything about that stuff, I'm gonna tell you this is gonna be a very relaxing, calm class on a Friday night. So it's March 10th from 8 to 10 p.m. because we're gonna do our class from 8 to 9, but then from 9 to 10 we're gonna hang out and have some refreshments and just relax and get to know each other and really connect. One of the things I love most about these socials is it's a space where you can come even by yourself and get to know other people, other women who are in this city just like you, looking for friendships, looking for a girls' night out, looking to put something on the calendar that they're excited about. And it brings me back to when I was living away and I just didn't have those kinds of friendships. I wish there was something like this that I could go out and not have to know anyone and just put it on the calendar and know that once I get there, I'm going to fit in, that I'm going to belong, that it's a space where I can totally be myself. And I created this because it was something that I wanted in my life back when I was living away. So if you're listening to this and you're like, well, I kind of want to come, Jess, but I'm kind of nervous and I don't know, I won't know anyone and I'm kind of awkward. We're all weird. And that's the best thing about these socials is that you get to come exactly as you are in whatever clothes you have. If you don't even have yoga clothes, come in your pajamas, just come as you are and be a part of this community that wants to see you thrive and wants to see you in your element. And maybe your next BFF will be there, or maybe your next hobby, you'll find a love for yin yoga and restorative yoga, and you never know unless you come out and give it a try. So I'm going to put all the information in the show notes for you to be able to grab your ticket. I have 15 spots open, and I'm really excited about this one. This is something that I love to do on a Friday night. I'm like, this is going to be the most relaxing Friday night that I'll be able to just hang out with you and really connect with our bodies and with each other and just have a great time. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, check out the show notes or check my website, jessclerk.com/events, and you'll be able to check all the information there and grab your ticket for this next Selfish Social. Now let's dive into today's motivation for you. Today I wanted to talk to you about why you're being so hard on yourself. And this came to me as I was sitting downstairs doing my yoga this morning, and I had done a few things on my list, like get my meditation in, and maybe it was only, 4 or 5 minutes, but it was enough, so I'll check that box, and okay, I did some journaling, and okay, yep, I read in my book a little bit, check the box, check. Okay, now I have to go downstairs. And I got downstairs, and I put my mat down, and I sat down, getting ready to put my video on and do some yoga, and I looked in the mirror, and I was like, girl, why you be looking like that? Seriously, like conversation that I have as soon as I look in the mirror and I'm just like, whoa, wait, what happened here? Why are you looking like that? Well, you look so tired. You look so uncomfortable. Like all these things that we tell ourselves. And as soon as I started to do it, I can catch myself really quickly now because I'm aware, but I had just done great things in my morning routine, things that I normally am striving for. And I'm like, oh, I have to check those boxes, right? But as soon as I sit downstairs and I start to do something that I love to do, like I love yoga, and I get there and I'm just nitpicking all these things about myself. And I don't know about you, but it is the worst feeling to know that I can be my own worst enemy, right? And it reminds me back to when I talked about befriending your inner mean girl way, way, way back in the day with Aaliyah. And there's something about that mean girl that she just like never goes away. She sits there with us and she's just like waiting for the moment when you're feeling your worst. And I feel really emotional as I say that because it was really real this morning as I sat down. I'm like, girl, like you have the other part that's like, I've been doing all these things. I've been trying really hard. I've been working really hard. Why is that not good enough? Why am I not good enough? Why am I so hard on myself? Because I know if a girlfriend of mine, if you came up to me and you were just like, oh man, like I don't like this and I don't like that and I'm so uncomfortable and blah, blah, blah. If you came up to me and said those things, the things that you've been saying to yourself, I would go out of my way to make sure you feel special and you feel seen and that you're enough and that you're loved and that you are doing enough just as you are right now. And I'm more aware of that because, well, I do this work, right? I work with a lot of people on this topic, but it becomes this like weird thing when I start to go through it too, as I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I'm just like, wait a second. No, that's not the narrative that I want to have. That's not the conversation that I want to have. That's not how I want to feel about myself. And I actually didn't want to name this episode like Stop Being So Hard on Yourself because I really think that's a hard thing to do. And I don't want this to be a podcast where I tell you things to do, right? We all have different and unique and beautiful ways of doing things. And so for me to sit here and be like, stop being so hard on yourself, that's not it. But that's exactly what I say to myself, right? Where can we have that compassion? Instead of stop being so hard on yourself, I want to ask you why. Why are you being so hard on yourself right now? What makes you think that you're not enough, that you're not beautiful, that you're not insert whatever the thing is that you've been telling yourself? Why do you think this way? Why is your brain automatically going to that negative side? And these are conversations that I had with myself in the moment this morning, sitting in front of the mirror. Just like, why are you being so hard on yourself? I think when we tell ourselves to stop, it automatically becomes this negative thing. Well, you're just being a real beep to yourself. So just stop that, right? It's things that we were told as a kid. Well, just stop doing this and stop doing that, right? But what if you were to really ask yourself the question on why and get to that root source on why you're actually feeling this way? And then also asking yourself, how do I want to feel? And here's the thing, I'm right there with you. I'm having this negative self-talk lately too. And especially around that, well, you're not doing enough, you're not working hard enough. And I know that's not true. I know I'm working my butt off. And even if I wasn't, I'd still be worthy of speaking to myself with respect. So how can we get to this place of just like an understanding of where it's coming from and why we're doing this kind of talk? And I honestly, for me, it goes really back to harder times in my life and difficult times when I was really focusing on those negative pieces. I was thinking about this the other day, really weirdly enough. I was thinking about this time that I was setting a New Year's resolution. And my New Year's resolution was like, lose weight and get whiter teeth and have shinier hair and all these like really vain things about myself. I'm not saying if those are your New Year's resolutions and your goals that you had for this year, by all means, I'm super proud of you. Let me know how I can help you along for that. But for me, they've just become a lot different. They haven't been about my physical body and my physical health for a long time. And I think that's part of the reason why when I look in the mirror, I automatically go to, well, you've let yourself go and I can't believe you look like that now. And why aren't you stronger? And when did that happen? And when did you get that? And all these things, right? Instead of focusing on the things that I have been working really hard on, having better mental health and really focusing on myself in different ways, having a booming business that's thriving and really growing in beautiful ways, connecting with more people, being able to spend time with my family. And when we see ourselves in the mirror and we have this negative self-talk, it doesn't take those things into factor. It doesn't take those things into consideration when it comes to who you are and what you've been working on. So who are you? How do you want to feel? And when you look in the mirror right now, today, how can you change that mindset and change that shift to speak a little better to yourself? Can you stop it in its tracks and just shift the sentence? If you're looking in the mirror and you're just like, oh, man, like I'm so uncomfortable in these clothes. Can you instantly shift that to something else? Or maybe even going out to the store and buying different clothes or feeling good. What is the way that you can feel good about yourself today and what you've been doing? Sometimes it takes more work than just doing the little mindset, like light switch in your head. And like, oh, wait, no, I'm going to make it positive. Sometimes that's not easy to do. So I challenge you to get into that root of why you're being so hard on yourself. Sometimes it comes from back when we were children and our parents encouraged us to get the best grades, right? So now we're extra hard on ourselves if we're not excelling in every area of our life. Or maybe you saw someone else in their life and where they were, and it helped inspire you to really take action, but you don't get to see their messy parts. You don't get to see where they're not showing up or how they're talking to themselves. You just get to see those outside things. And for some reason that inspires us to push to different levels and to work really hard. Or maybe as a child, you only got validation from your family and from your friends when you got A's or when you did good things or when you ran really fast or when you got the gold medals, or insert that piece from your childhood that just kind of makes a bit more sense now. Makes a little bit more sense as you look at it and you're like, oh, that doesn't mean you can't change. You can shift how you've been talking to yourself lately. You can shift how you've been acting when someone, wants to celebrate you. And you're just like, no, not me, not little old me over here. How can you show yourself that you're enough today? How can you remind yourself that you're powerful and that you're beautiful just as you are? You don't need to change anything. You don't need to work out more. You don't need to eat better. You don't need to work harder, show up to work longer hours. You don't need to do anything other than what you're doing right now to feel valid and worthy and loved. But it all comes from inside. I actually wrote on my list here to chat with you today about the external validation, because for me, somebody saying, oh, you're doing a really great job, or I see you over there, like you're doing awesome, is great. Feels good, right? That instant gratification can kind of like give you that little boost to be like, But I've been doing this a lot lately too, focusing on the external factors. Exactly how when I look in the mirror and I talk to myself, I'm like, oh, but, well, that person said that or this person said that. And I just like those external factors play such a huge role in my brain sometimes. I want you to look inward and just like focus on that, why you're being so hard on yourself. And how can I love myself today? Just like wrap yourself in a big hug. And you're probably listening to this and you're like, oh, Jess, shut up. I don't even want to think about it. I feel you. I'm with you. But if we can really dial in on these things, confidence is booming around the corner. Confidence is coming if you can start to pinpoint why you're being so hard on yourself and how you can shift into a positive way today. Just something that feels good. And I'm not talking like these big grand gestures for yourself, just little tiny things like when you look in the mirror, giving yourself a high five, or when you're, running out the door and you're feeling so hectic and crazy like I was yesterday, and then you can just slow down for a second, remind yourself that you're enough. Even if you're a few minutes late, everything's going to be okay. Sometimes we forget things. We're human. That's normal. How can I love myself in this moment, even when I feel hectic and crazy and chaotic and just all over the place? How can I love myself today? Or how can I even just be kinder? Maybe you don't love yourself at all. That's okay. How can you be a little kinder today? And take those steps, because confidence is coming when you start to do those little tiny things. Confidence is not going to come when you're looking in the mirror and you're nitpicking at all these things. And then you make a 12-week training plan and you're like, perfect, in 12 weeks I'm going to have confidence. F that. That's not how this works. You really need to dial into who you are now. Learning what you like now. What's going to fill your cup today? That's going to help you to have more confidence. Trusting your intuition and trusting your gut and knowing that you're making the right decision for yourself right now, in this exact moment. We don't need to change anything. We are wonderful and beautiful and confident right now. So today I just challenge you to be a little kinder to yourself in these little tiny pockets. That's what I'm doing today too. So if you need some accountability, send me a message, connect with me, lean on me, because I'm going to need to lean on you too. I'm tired of being mean to myself over things that are just like so dumb. They're not even great things to be like, I would never say that to anyone else, the things I've been saying to myself. And if that's you too, connect with me. We can lean on this together and we can really come out more confident on the other side. Another thing too, in March, we're going to be working on habits, and habits that just like make us feel good in the sisterhood. And I'm excited to lean into this topic because I know that's one thing that a lot of us beat ourselves about. We're just like, oh, well, I can never stay consistent. Okay, well, we're going to work on that in March in the sisterhood. And if that's something that you're just like, maybe I need a little bit more consistency in my life, consistency for my self-talk, consistency for spending time with myself, consistency for journaling and finding out more about myself, whatever that is for you, consistency in any areas. We're going to be talking about that in the March workshop, and then also just holding each other accountable for 30 days to work together to find these habits that we really want to stick with. So I am excited for the month of March. I can't believe that it's already coming, and I just hope you're having a wonderful day and you're focusing on you and the beautiful self that you are. I'm sending you a big ol' hug and reminding you that you have magic in you. Like wholehearted magic is coming out of your fingertips right now. Don't waste it. I love you. I am so grateful that we could connect today. If you enjoyed today's episode, share it with a friend or on your social media and tag me so I can personally thank you for helping me grow this community and get my message out there. And don't forget, you deserve to embrace your truth. It's time to live life your way.